Hello everyone, it's Megan in the Trumbo Tribe Adventures. I am Megan. If you are new here, welcome. It's a Monday evening and I am just about ready to get dinner cooked up for my family, and that's what this video is gonna be all about. I am all geared up for this week, the start of the week here, to cook dinner at home every night this week, Monday through Friday. Through the weeknight, I am determined to cook dinner at home. We have a large family over here and going out to eat is not super ideal for us. So getting these meals planned and set ahead of time and cooking at home is a good organized way to be frugal, think ahead. A lot of the times I am in a rut, like what are we gonna make for dinner tonight? On the weeks that I did not plan ahead, it's like we're going day by day, and some days it could be pretty stressful because when dinner comes, I got nothing and everybody's asking what's for dinner. Our whole family has our favorites that we love to go back to, but we are also a family that loves to try new things. And I got some new things on the menu for this week to try, and I'm super happy to share these recipes with you and give you some inspiration as well for what to come up with dinner, because it can be a task, right? It can be a task. It can also be a task to cook dinner when you're being grumpy. Aww, let me see what you need. Here's what we got going for tonight. I got my whole list. I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. What's on the menu tonight is Mexican chicken casserole. I have never made this specific recipe. I've made things like it before, and I know my family loves all things Mexican, so I thought I'd try it in a casserole form. I got this recipe off of delish.com. All right, let's jump right into this Mexican chicken casserole, our first meal for Monday night, and then we are gonna go right through the week. I hope this is inspiring to you and fun. Let's get to it. All right, here's all the ingredients for this Mexican chicken casserole. Just winging it our way. It says to use certain types of chicken. I'm just pulling out whatever I had in my freezer. I got some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I also have a couple chicken thighs, and we're just gonna pop them in the air fryer. They're still a little bit frozen, but the air fryer is great for that. Pop it in, and it just cooks it so nicely, and it's less time for me standing at the stovetop cooking chicken. Love the air fryer for that reason. And then we're gonna chop some onions up, go to the stovetop, and get all the ingredients poured in. And then I got my casserole dish over here ready to go, and we're gonna plop it all in and bake it. I think this seems pretty easy. Casseroles are usually pretty easy. This is not much prep, so I like that. All right, let's get started. All right, in you go, chicken breasts. And we are just gonna put this on 400 and cook it for 20 minutes. That could be going while I'm doing everything else. We're gonna pop the corn in the microwave, super easy. I got the steamable bag. Get that going, so that's cooking. Don't have to worry about that. All right, we're gonna get some olive oil, heat it up in this pan. Get our onions cooking. Get some minced garlic going in there. All right, I got my onions and garlic cooked up really good, and we got some salt and pepper in there. And now we are gonna add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, 2 cans of black beans, 1 can of diced tomatoes, and then 2 cans of green chilies. Get some ground cumin and chili powder in there. Turn your heat back up. and let that all cook together.
But that looks pretty good.
Does it look pretty good?
Yeah.
Thanks, Nolan. All right, let's check on our chicken. Okay, we're gonna turn these and cook them for another 4 minutes on 400. All right, we're gonna add our chicken to our mixture here. Mix that all in. Ooh, I got some hungry kids behind me, ready to eat. This is almost done. You gotta pop it in the oven.
Luke is very hungry.
And it won't take much longer. All right, it's time to layer this in our casserole pan with some tortilla chips. And I just grabbed whatever I had in my pantry, and we're gonna finish these bags off. Some Tostitos, and I think this is a Aldi brand maybe, or I'm not sure. And put a nice layer on the bottom of the pan. And then we're gonna take some chips and crush them up and layer on top of that. And we got some medium cheddar cheese here that we're gonna layer in. And this is just what I had in my fridge, using some leftovers. Layering that. Start all over again. Top it with another layer of the stovetop mixture.
What is it?
It's a Mexican chicken casserole. It's really good.
All
right, we're gonna go with mild white cheddar now to top this layer off. Like I said, it's whatever I had in my fridge here.
Did you make this up?
Oh no, I didn't make this up. I got it from delish.com, but I'm just kind of making it our own, really. All right, last layer. And then we're gonna top it off with some cheese.
You should know better not to leave them out. I love them right here on the thing.
All right, in the oven it goes. Gonna melt those cheeses, get it all bubbly, and it's ready to go. All right, while it's finishing up in the oven, I'm gonna get some toppings prepped. Oh, look at this. It looks so good.
That's too hot for Daddy.
Oh, yum.
Does that microwave work still?
Yeah. Check this out. It looks really good. And this cheese, I'm impressed how it melted on top. It's really hard to find a good shredded cheddar cheese that melts. And this is Aldi's brand. It's a newer cheese that came out, thicker shreds. There's DJ's. It's kind of just blocked on his plate. And here's all our toppings. Go ahead and just put whatever you want on there. Oh man, look at DJ's. He's got it all good. Let's go in the light here. It looks really good. Here's Easton. Ooh, what do you got going? Some hot sauce there too? I forgot about the hot sauce. Ooh, look at yours, Easton. That's like looking good. All right, everybody take their bites. Here, tell me what you think, DJ. It's stringy. How is it? Is it good? Okay, good. I'm gonna try it too. This is so good. It has so many wonderful flavors flowing through it, and we're definitely putting it on the redo list. It was a success for a new meal being made here at the Trumbull House. Well, hello. We are on to Tuesday, and I have to get things started for dinner a little earlier today. We got to do some prepping. We got to put a boneless pork roast in the crock pot so it'll be ready in time for dinner.
And hi!
Oh my goodness. And what do we have over here? We got lunch going on. It looks like a lunch mess. A Lunchable mess, right? Oh my goodness. Good thing we're at the table, right?
And no, just making the mess with her pizza.
Yeah, so this is what's going on for lunch. Lunchables. What's on the menu for tonight is loaded, meaty baked potatoes. So we're not just doing loaded baked potatoes with like the cheese and the bacon and the chives and sour cream. We are going to add pork, some yummy pork meat, shredded pork meat. And I got big potatoes here that we're gonna cook up. I am getting this in the crock pot a little late, but tonight's dinner is going to be eaten a little later than normal. We're gonna be going to a basketball game tonight, my niece's basketball game, and we are planning on eating this when we get home. I'm gonna have some snacks for the kids. The reason is my older two boys have to work tonight, and I wanted it to be fresh and ready, the baked potatoes nice and warm, fresh out of the oven, for them when they get home, and we're just planning on eating all together. What I do is just douse the bottom with some olive oil here, and then we will put in some garlic for flavoring. But this is literally just going to be pork that we are going to douse in barbecue sauce after we shred it. So I just want to give it a little more flavor with that olive oil and garlic, and then that will cook up nice, and then when we shred it, it will be covered in barbecue. This is a boneless rib end pork roast, 2 pounds, 86 ounces. Gonna be perfect amount of meat to top everybody's baked potato with. We're gonna still go with low and just let this cook. We're gonna add some seasoning salt to the top. And that is it. And we're just gonna let this cook all day. Catch you more around dinner time.
Have an awesome video, and the one was decide. Oh yeah.
Hello again. It's much later, and we are getting these potatoes ready. I'm in a rush. Imagine that. So I have my older boy here helping me. We're going to put these in the oven. I pierced them with a fork. We're wrapping them in foil, and they are going to cook. Well, we are at the game, and my teen boy is going to check on them periodically, and they should be good and ready when we get home. So that is the next step, and then we'll show you more later. Off to the game. Yay! Miley. Ooh. There's Brooklyn. Brooklyn, give us a wave. Brooklyn's basketball game.
Yeah, they're Brooklyn.
All right, we're back at home, and Colton did a really good job washing these potatoes. They cooked up really nice. Our pork is cooked up really nice, and all we have to do now is open them. We're gonna slice them down the middle and fill them with all those good toppings. Our pork roast shredded up really nicely. I gave the little one some without the barbecue sauce on it, and now I'm gonna mix barbecue sauce in here. It's really good and flavored. We got some Colby Jack cheese, shredded cheddar cheese, shredded cheese. Scallions, bacon bits, and a dollop of sour cream on top. First one made, and it looks so good. Check that out. Dinner is ready. Loaded baked potato. Probably not the healthiest thing you could eat, but it's good. Wednesday night, here we are. Another night of dinner. For tonight, I'm just gonna jump right into it. We are making Faux. Vietnamese Faux. I still am not, I don't know if I'm getting it right. Faux soup. A Vietnamese dish tonight. It's a soup, a yummy soup. This soup for me, I ate it in a restaurant and it was like love at first sight. So good. And I just had to get a good recipe and make it at home. for my family, and for myself. Come to find out, when I was talking to some of the Vietnamese cooks on how they make the soup, it's a 2-day process. Who has 2 days to simmer a soup up or a broth up to make a soup? Not me. Ingredients alone are kind of daunting to find. There's quite a few, and you can't just get them at like your local store. These ingredients, these specific ingredients, were hard to find. I did find some of them, but there was one star anise. It's kind of, I would want to say, like it's like in the cinnamon family, and it tastes a little like black licorice, but it smells like cinnamon. That's what star anise is. And then, of course, your rice noodles. You use rice noodles in this soup. And I get these off of Amazon too, because you just gotta have a Vietnamese rice noodle. They do have rice noodles at Walmart, but I just didn't find that they were as good as the ones from the actual Vietnamese restaurant where I had the pho. And so this is actually, you could probably get this. You can get this in a Vietnamese store, because I've seen people on YouTube making this soup, and they went to the store and there this was. So I tried to stick with this brand, Three Ladies brand rice sticks. And it's really close to the pho I had from the authentic Vietnamese restaurant that I went to. So to make the broth, I said it takes 2 days, but I started looking into it more, and you don't have to take a full 2 days to make this beautiful broth. I found this guy here, Jet Tilla, and his recipe, Quick Beef Pho, from the Food Network. Jet Tilla from Food Network. There he is. And I have made this several times now. You have to prepare for this. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna make pho tonight. You have to make sure your ingredients are here. Like, I had to order my noodles from Amazon and some of my spices. You have to get all that lined up, and a lot of the things you can just get and have on hand in your pantry to make several times. And that's just what I did. And I already had everything basically here except for my noodles, because we've been making this throughout the winter already. It's such a wonderful, warming dish to have in the cold weather. Basically, you just get the broth down. You got to get that good taste, that signature taste that the broth has, and we'll get into that in a minute, what all we're putting in this broth to make it so yummy. So here's the broth ingredients. We're going to get started with the broth, then we'll move on to the toppings and cooking the noodles and all of that. All right, let's get started on this pho. I'm super excited about it too. We have a couple sickies in the house, and I think this is gonna be perfect for them. And here is the magic to doing this quick. Right here, Orrington Farms beef broth base. The 2-day process of doing it real and Vietnamese style is they actually cook the broth for 2 days with the beef bone there, drawing out all the flavors from the bone. And that's how it gets its yummy goodness. But this stuff is magic, and it tastes really good. So for our family, and to make a little extra to have for the next day, we are going to use 4 quarts of water for our broth. I got 4 quarts here. And then 6 tablespoons of this broth base beef flavoring to go in there. And we are going to bring that to a boil. And then I'm going to chop up some onions, throw some onions in there, chop up some ginger, throw some ginger in there. We're going to add some fish sauce. I got this at Walmart. Walmart has the Faux kitchen going on. And then we have a special thing we need to do with a cheesecloth. I got some cheesecloth here, and we are going to put our star anise, cinnamon, whole cloves inside a cheesecloth and let the broth simmer for a good 30 minutes. And with the cheesecloth mixture, everything in there, that mixed with the fish sauce and the beef flavoring, that's where you're going to get your flavors, and the ginger and onion. It's signature, it's like no other, and it's so good. Definitely worth trying. We're gonna bring this to a boil. Let that beef broth base dissolve in there. Really good. We're gonna start letting it bubble and boil. And then we're gonna add our chopped onion, our fish sauce, and our ginger. All right, for our 4 quarts, we have 2 small medium-sized onions and then 4 thin sliced pieces of ginger. And we will dig the ginger out later, which is usually never a problem. And now we are going to put in 4 tablespoons of the fish sauce. Give that a good stir, and we are gonna keep it boiling. Keep bringing it to a boil. I got this cheesecloth off of Amazon. People do a lot of different things with it, but it's what it says. It literally is for making cheese. Here's what it looks like. It's gonna hold all the spices in there, but like a filter, let them through. All right, for our mixture, we're going to take 8 star anise, and look at these things. They look like little tarantulas. Kind of scary. And then 8 whole cloves. And a whole clove looks like that. And now 4 cinnamon sticks. This together makes, with the fish sauce and the beef, makes some yummy goodness. We're gonna tie this up, make a little satchel, and drop it down into our broth. Just about good and bubbly, bringing it to a rolling boil. Here is our little satchel full of the spices. We're just gonna drop that right down in there. Okay, give it a little stir, and we're gonna just let that cook into goodness. Bring it to a boil, and then we'll just let it simmer for over 30 minutes. I almost forgot, we need 4 tablespoons of sugar for 4 quarts of broth as well. So I'm gonna add those in. Is some pork steak, a family pack, 4 big pork steaks, and that's going to be enough for our family tonight. I bought some thin pork chops, so tomorrow, if we want to have it for lunch, it'll be a nice treat. While the kids are doing school, I will get the pork chops out, but we're going to do this really simple, easy. I'm just going to cook these in the air fryer. It's on the smaller side here, so I'm only going to be able to cook 2 at a time, but that's okay because the air fryer is just amazing for time. Love it. We're gonna put them on at 400, starting off at 15 minutes, and then we'll turn them over and probably do them for another 8 minutes. All right, let's check on our broth. Oh yeah, the smells are going through the house of this yummy broth. Yum, yum, yum. Turn this down a bit, just let it simmer, cover it, and we'll catch you back in a little bit. I'm gonna start prepping my toppings. I will show you all the toppings that we're gonna put on this with the meat. All right, our pork steaks can be turned. Fun fact about the meat they use, they cut the beef, they just use like some type of beef strips, and they cut it, the Vietnamese cut it so thin that it's not even cooked actually. They just throw it on the hot broth on top of your noodles, and the broth cooks the meat. That's how they do it in the restaurant. We can now take out our little satchel of spices there, and I got the water heating up for our rice. All right, our pork steaks are done. And check out all the toppings we have. We got some dried Thai, is it Thai?
Thai.
Dried Thai sweet basil leaves. I got these off of Amazon. You just stick them in the hot broth and they'll soften back up. We also got some fresh peppery, sweet, and savory basil just from Walmart. We're gonna use some soy sauce, hoisin sauce, sriracha chili sauce. We got some fresh limes, cilantro, jalapenos, onions, and we are missing something that I love, but I could not find it. Fresh bean sprouts. Amazing to top it with. Fresh bean sprouts, but could not find them anywhere. They do have them in the can, but they're not as good canned. You gotta get them fresh and crispy. So here's what we got. You can do tons of different types of meats, beef strips, steak, tripe, pork chops. We got pork steaks. Rice noodles are ready to go in. Woo! And then you gotta have to stand here and watch them a bit so they don't overcook or undercook. All right, assembly line. Let's make our soup bowls here. Chase, you're up first. And what I'm gonna do is just get them their broth and their noodles, and then they will go dress it up like they like.
Mama, how
All right, here you go. Dress. Chase here. Dress it on up in
I'm
here.
sensitive.
Stop. This is how Chase is dressing up his pho.
Faux.
Okay, Chase is really boring. Okay, that is a lot of meat, buddy.
Well, I'm a lot of man, son.
Oh my goodness. Okay, stop.
All right, more.
Stop. He literally only does meat and sriracha. I mean, how boring is that? Okay, yeah, throw some lime juice in there. Great. Cilantro?
No.
Hoisin sauce?
With this, but
Soy
I'm too
sauce.
lazy
Okay.
to open it.
No, you're gonna need it because it's not that salty. Just you're gonna
Little
need it.
fingers, 'cause you
All right, well, there's Chase's boring pho, full of meat, way too much meat. Okay, here goes mine. Let's douse this up. We got some soy sauce here. Yummo. I'm gonna put some strips of pork on top. And then we got some cilantro. Onions, fresh onions. I'm gonna put a jalapeno down in there. I don't eat the jalapeno, but I just let it kind of get in the broth and spice it up just a bit. And then we got some lime juice. I do some just regular basil, not the Thai basil. Hoisin sauce. Like I said, I'm missing the bean sprouts, but here it is. This is how I'm gonna eat it, and it's so good. And I'm even feeling like I am getting a cold myself. Oh man, guys, flavors are spot on. So good. Another good dinner everybody's loving. Well, hello there. It is now Thursday night. Man, this week is flying by. But here we are again with another meal. And I'm so proud of myself because we have not gone out to eat at all this week.
So that is saving us a lot of money, and it hasn't been too bad. And I love being organized. I love getting these meals together ahead of time. It's making me feel really accomplished. And everybody has been loving all the meals. The guys, the older ones coming home from work to a warm cooked meal has been wonderful for them. They've all thanked me so much so far, and everything has been just so good. So here we go again. We are having Mexican again. We started off with Mexican, and here we are again with another Mexican meal. Here are my ingredients. We are going to have beef enchiladas. I've made this before with chicken. I've never done this with beef. I got this from the Pioneer Woman, and I've made her chicken enchiladas before, but not the beef one. So we're gonna try it with beef. I'm sure it's gonna be great. They're super easy to put together. You could actually make this ahead of time. This is a good freezer meal if you are into that. Really thinking ahead and putting meals away and freezing them. This is great for that. Basically, we are just going to go to the stovetop. I have my oven preheating right now at 375. We are going to start cooking up the filling. We got some red enchilada sauce, and then we're going to add some garlic to that. We got some spices back here: ground cumin, chili powder, paprika, black pepper, some green chilies, and some onion, and then our ground beef. We're going to cook all that on the stovetop. And then we got 8-inch taco shells here, and Kobe Jack cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, and we're gonna mix these cheeses up. Some of them are gonna go inside with the filling, and then the rest of the cheese is gonna go on top. To start off, I'm gonna cut my onion, and then I will meet you at the stovetop. All right, we're gonna heat up some oil. I ran out of olive oil, so I've got some pure canola oil that we're gonna use here. It'll be okay. Olive oil is better though. We're gonna heat that up, and then I got my chopped onion. I'm gonna put that in there. Cook this down a little bit until it's a little translucent. And then we're gonna add some garlic, salt and pepper. For our salt, we're going with some seasoned salt. Last minute, I thought of tomatoes. I had some that needed to be used, so we're gonna cook down some tomatoes in this as well, just to make it a little more hearty and flavorful. We love tomatoes, so it works. And after a bit, we're gonna add that ground beef. Cook that down really good in there. This is very lean ground beef, so I am not too worried about having to drain a lot of the fat off of it. It's probably not going to have a whole lot, and it'll be really flavorful to keep whatever's in there with it. After this has been cooking down a little bit, we are going to add some green chilies. 2 cans actually, 4-ounce cans. Green chilies just make everything better. The ground beef is not yet cooked, but just when it is about to be cooked, add the ground cumin, paprika, and chili powder, which I'm going to do now. Our ground beef mixture is cooked up, and now we're going to take some red enchilada sauce and pour just a little bit of that in there, not the whole can. If your tortillas are still kind of cold, you might want to heat them up just a bit so they're like pliable and want to roll up for you without breaking. Kobe Jack and sharp cheddar, we're just going to mix it up and fill it up in there. We got them all rolled up, filled and all, and now we're going to top them with this red enchilada sauce. And I just glaze it on there. And finish it off with our cheeses. All right, we're gonna let this bake up. And look at this, I just pulled it out of the oven. It's still bubbling. And I topped it with some red onions. And I'm going to serve it here. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll serve it up with some other good toppings. Time to cut. love my cilantro. And here's mine. It looks so good. Let's try it. It's so good. I love it with the beef. I've only ever made it with chicken, but wow, it's really good. The beef flavor, all the other flavors in there, really good. Guys, it's Friday and I am just about to successfully make 5 meals all through our weeknights, Monday through Friday. Oh, Miley, I'm just about to make, I'm just about to make the last meal. I thought you were playing with toys. Oh, no. Well, we're still gonna do this. I'm making something super simple. Another recipe from Pioneer Woman, as she calls it, the one pot wonder. We're making Hamburger Mac. Super easy. Nothing fancy for this Friday night. I think this little girl is getting a cold, aren't you? And you just want mama. This is not gonna be that hard, and you're gonna love it. In the past, we've made this with Hamburger Helper, the box editions, but this is the first time I'm making it without a box edition. And I think it just looks super easy. I love the Pioneer Woman's recipes. I've probably have yet to find one that was unsuccessful. And I think this is gonna be good. So here's our ingredients all lined up here, organized for me. No preheating the oven tonight. We're gonna head over to the stovetop. Okay, first thing, we are going to get a pot of boiling water rolling for our elbow macaroni. And then we're gonna cut up 2 onions. It called for yellow onion, but didn't have yellow onion. We only had red onion. And I'm okay with that, so we're using red onion. Got some oil heating up on the stovetop, and we're gonna throw our onions and ground beef in there. I'm calling this my beef mixture, and to this, Pioneer Woman's recipe calls for bacon as well, strips of bacon, and you're to cook that all in there. Well, to make it easier, I already had bacon bits on hand, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to make it easy, throw in some bacon bits with this and cook it up.
Hey, what you doing? I got nothing to do.
We're also gonna throw in some minced garlic to the beef mixture. And we love garlic, so I usually put in a lot. And we're gonna let our beef cook until it's all cooked through. All right, we got some hungry kids here and kids who are going to help. Just be very careful, it's a hot pot. The recipe calls for we're gonna add beef broth and tomato sauce to this, and then you're supposed to cook the macaroni in that liquid here, but I am horrible at getting any type of noodle when it says to like cook it like that. I can never just get the noodle texture right. By the time we get our noodles to the consistency of being nice and tender, the whole mixture burns. And even with the box mixtures, I have such a hard time with throwing noodles in the mixture. For me, it's just so much easier to cook the noodles on the side, and then I will add them nice and tender and beautifully cooked to this mixture. Our beef mixture is fully cooked through. Now we're gonna add 2 of these 32 ounces of beef broth. And now you would add 2 cans of tomato sauce. I do not have tomato sauce, we have pizza sauce. So I'm gonna do a whole jar here of pizza sauce. And then lastly, heavy whipping cream. 1 pint. Give that a good stir, bring it to a boil, heat it all through, and here's actually where you would put in your noodles. Our elbow macaroni is done, nice and tender, just as it should be. And we are now gonna add it to our beef mixture. Now we're gonna add our cheeses, and I'm gonna add a whole bag of Colby Jack, 12 ounces, and it called for slices of American cheese. This is the deluxe American cheese, and I'm just gonna chop this up into little squares and let it all melt together. All of our cheese is in there, and we're gonna melt this up. What do you think? What do you think? You love the peas? Do you love it? Yeah, you do? Good. She's eating away. She loves it. The other kids love it too. They are chowing it down. Here is the finished texture. It came out really good, just right. Not too soupy. Very cheesy. Here's my plate. It doesn't look crazy beautiful, but it's super good, super easy, and a win-win for the whole family tonight. Saturday morning. We made it to Saturday. A beautiful day that's going to be in the 60s in February. Crazy. Thanks for hanging out with me and making my dinners through my weeknights. Now I gotta tend to a rowdy puppy and some crazy kids. We're gonna have fun today. All right, we will catch you on the next adventure. Don't forget to subscribe. More content is coming. We might do this again. We'll see you on the next adventure.